trade agreements with Latin America. The U.S. and South Korea have launched 8 ballistic missiles into the sea to send a message to North Korea. South Korea's military says the drill was aimed at demonstrating the nation's ability to swiftly match North Korea's earlier launch. And British Prime Minister Boris Johnson may have to pay for some of his past boorish behavior. Parties held in government offices during COVID-19 lockdowns, remember those, apparently have put his career in jeopardy. Now, there is, I guess, a leadership vote that's going to happen. If he survives the vote, the rule says there can be no other challenges this year. So he's just got that one. Let's say good morning now to ABC's Jim Ryan. Man, it's interesting in Texas to have any sort of gun debate, period. This is a state that has been gun-friendly for as long as I can remember. You throw that out there. Which state is the most gun-friendly in the country? I think you get 100 out of 100 people saying, of course, it's Texas.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, longer than you and I either one of us can remember. I think since about 1836 when it became a state, it's been gun-friendly. And that's how it is now, and especially under the current leadership, Governor Greg Abbott and the Republican-controlled legislature didn't want to make any sort of changes to gun laws here in Texas. In fact, they've loosened them somewhat, even since the mass shootings at El Paso and over at Sutherland Springs and at Santa Fe. You don't even need a permit to carry a gun here anymore. Now, there is this growing debate, especially given what happened in Uvalde 2 weeks ago tomorrow. The murders of 21 people, including 19 children, inside an elementary school. The shooter there, Jen, of course, had just turned 18 and had just purchased legally 2 rifles, one of which an assault-style rifle, an AR-15, that was used in the massacre at that school. Now, over the weekend, the Dallas Morning News ran a full-page ad placed by 250 people who described themselves as conservatives, friends from other states, outdoor gun enthusiasts, and supporters of the Republican Party. They're saying that there needs to be change. They're supporting Senator John Cornyn and his moves to work with the Democrats in Washington towards some kind of new gun restrictions.
And it's interesting to even see these people who have been all pro-gun rights in the past just taking a step back and saying, it's not that we want to let things go. It's not that we want to see the Second Amendment slippery slope that a lot of people are about. But it's just trying to see if we couldn't put some tweaks in place that would make it so somebody like the Texas shooter couldn't get his hands on a gun again.
Well, right. And the red flag laws are one thing that this group of 250 is supporting. The laws that would allow a judge to take weapons away from someone temporarily if that person is deemed to be a threat to himself or to others. That might have caught the Uvalde shooting, perhaps. Expanding background checks on people before guns could be purchased. Here in Texas, there is more of a move, among Democrats at least, to raise the purchase age for rifles from 18 up to 21. That law would have prevented, or at least would have made illegal, the purchase that was made 2 weeks ago by the shooter in Uvalde. So, yeah, some very slight motion here, but it moves towards something that would have seemed inconceivable sometime back, and that's changes in law.
And I know that a lot of people say if he really wanted to get a gun, he would have been able to find it. And that is true. He absolutely could have gone on the street and found one somewhere along the way. It just would have been a lot more difficult for him to get his hands on that weapon than it would just for him to have walked into the store and purchased it.
Right, which is what he did. On 2 different days, he bought one rifle, and then he bought another rifle at a gun store there in Uvalde. It was very easy. Didn't really have to do much of anything, and didn't face any stringent background checks because none exist. So you're right. Would it absolutely have prevented this? Probably not. Now, there are other measures that Governor Greg Abbott says could have prevented it, including the requirements that the door at the school lock. We know that the door didn't lock, and allowing the gunman to simply walk inside and start shooting.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Jim. I appreciate the update.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. See you later. This is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles. And before I go, I have to pay off on the story of why there are those X-shaped palm trees in front of In-N-Out. Because, you'll see a few palm trees kind of dotting the In-N-Out landscape at every single one. But if you notice, there are always 2 palm trees that have crisscrossing trunks that form the shape of an X. Well, the X is entirely intentional. It's actually a nod to the founder's favorite film, So the founder, Harry Schneider, wanted to choose a symbol that would set In-N-Out apart from other restaurants. Well, what he decided was he would pick up an idea from his favorite movie. It's a Mad, Mad World from the early 1960s. And in that movie, it's all about these, drivers who are on this mad dash to a state park where they believe there's a secret stash of cash waiting for them underneath a big W. And toward the end of the film, the group arrives at a park and finds a formation of palm trees in the shape of a W marking the spot of the treasure. So Snyder liked that idea so much, he decided to come up with a shape to mark his treasure, In-N-Out. Instead of the W, he went with the X, but very symbolic of X marks the spot. There is my treasure. There is your store. This is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles. Nick Paleocchini, did you know that?
I did not. Thank you for the heads up on that, Jen. Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
It's not the spot for the treasure In-N-Out, so I'm down.
I like it.
Very nice. Checking the drive right now. Still a mess in the South Bay through Carson on the northbound side of the 405 at Wilmington Avenue. Crash ongoing. Carpool on 3 left lane shut down. That's packing the drive tight for you now as you're coming out of Long Beach from as far back as Cherry. So definitely plan for the 91, even though that is going to be busy as the westbound commute from before the 605. You'll see delays ahead into Gardena toward the 110. Surface Street-wise, to the north of the 405 to save you some time this morning, Delamo Boulevard is looking pretty decent. Same story for Wilmington Avenue, or rather Willow or Pacific Coast Highway to the south of the 405. Those will definitely save you a bit of time. Got an update on this problem or anything else slowing you down? Pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic. Westbound 105 going to be a rough go for you in heavy stretches leaving Bellflower Boulevard. You'll see those delays continuing ahead toward Crenshaw Boulevard and South LA 110 North starting to get slow for your drive from Slauson as you make way toward the 10. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Paleocchini.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Chef Fabio Viviani has arrived. And now, the top 7 reasons to visit the marketplace of Morongo. Number 7.
Prime Cup is open. Steakhouse meats and Brazilian churrasco.
Number 6.
Pescado is open. Try the seafood tower and oysters on the half.
Number 5.
The Kiru is open.
Number 4.
Pork and waffles is open. The best barbecue this side of the Mississippi.
Number 3.
Mercado Central is open. It's unrivaled, innovative Italian fare.
Number 2.
Sweet Things is open. Sweet treats for the biggest sweet teeth.
And the number 1 reason to go to the marketplace at Morongo.
The marketplace is open. It's an elevated all-you-can-eat casino dining experience you've got to try today. The marketplace is open.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
Hey, hot dogs, sausages.
Maybe instead of using a stadium vendor to feed the office, we should have just ordered through Easy Cater.
I got nachos here. Nachos?
Yeah, right here. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was fun at first, but it is kind of different.
Cheesesteak here. Who wants a cheesesteak?
Over here.
Coming at you.
Oh, right in the face.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Hey, Mario Lopez here, and saving California's water starts with a few simple things in and outside your home. And you know the Lopez family's doing what we can do to help. Like, did you know fixing water sprinkler leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Or that adjusting your sprinklers to water plants and not pavement helps a lot. Let's do this, Cali, and make water saving our way of life. Find more water saving tips you can use at home at saveourwater.com.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
Southern California, Cali. Southern California weather from KFI. It's going to be a warm day today. Temperatures are going to be in the low 70s at the beaches, upper 70s right at 80 for Metro LA and OC. We should see the valleys in the IE make it into the mid, maybe even some upper 80s. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your Monday wake-up call. Handle on the news starts right now.
Handle on the news. Handle on the news. And now, here's Bill Handel.
On a Monday morning, June 6th, D-Day, 76 years ago. The beaches of Normandy. If you ever have a chance to go to Normandy and visit the beachheads, it is one of the most moving things you will ever experience in your life. Not the beach itself, which is, I mean, the history of that, just just absolutely floors you. What a lot of people don't realize is that it's over a 75-mile stretch, by the way, the beaches. You think they were right next to each other or pretty close. They're not. They're just up and down the coast. But the U.S., the military, the cemetery right above Normandy, or right above the beaches, first of all, it belongs, U.S. Park Service controls that park, that cemetery belongs to the United States. It is not French territory. It is American land, and it is kept so pristine. It is so moving. It's extraordinary to be there. I mean, it's just, you get a sense, and I think far more than visiting a veteran cemetery in the United States. For some reason, I found it more moving for Americans to be buried there in the foreign soil for which they died. It's extraordinary. All right, that's up. What a nice way to start the morning. And let's say hello. Wayne, good morning. Bonjour. Bonjour. Jennifer.
Howdy.
Oh, you've got dead stuff to deal with, too, all next weekend.
Oh, yeah, it's just joyous. I have a friend's funeral on Saturday and a cousin's funeral on Sunday. He died the morning after my grandma's funeral. It's been a hell of a time to be a Jones.
Hey, people realize they don't want to get near you because it's a real problem.
I had to put my dog Scarlet down last week. I'm not on a good, trend right now. Don't be near me.
Stay away. Yeah, just stay away. I'm not going to stop because you're being mean to you. It's staying away.
Don't be near me.
Oh, yeah. No. You have become a jinx. There's no question about it.
You want me to come sit in the studio with you?
Not even close.
Wayne, would you like me to go sit in the studio with Handel?
I'm okay. There's not that much room in here.
No, she said with me.
Yeah, no, with Handel. Do you want me to go sit with Handel?
You
want to tell me
thinking about it. No, thank you, Wayne. That's generous of you. Alex, good morning.
Morning.
And Tyler, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
You actually have an iHeart T-shirt there.
I most certainly do.
What is the iHeart? What is the bottom of that? Yeah, I got the iHeart part, but what is iHeart Media? Got it. I always saw iHeart, the me part, covered with
iHeart me.
Dia. Got it.
Dia.
Yeah, Dia. Okay, guys. Lots going on today. Tomorrow is the election for mayor, the primary, and we don't have any props really to deal with this time around. So it's all about judges who nobody pays attention to the judges' races. Nobody pays attention to the controller's race. Nobody pays attention to the attorney general's race because it's a given. No one pays attention to the governor's race because it's a given. It's the mayoral race of Los Angeles. That's the only thing that counts. And I'm enjoying people attacking Todd Spitzer. We have conversations saying, Todd, you've got some detractors, don't you? He goes, yeah, one or two. A couple.
It was interesting. I was in Northern California over the weekend, and I happened to be with some people who are in law enforcement, and they were talking about Todd Spitzer all the way up north, and they said, yeah, we like that guy, and when he stands, is he running again? But it was weird. He got brought up in conversation.
He's going to win. I mean, there's no question he's going to win. He's become a law and order prosecutor, mainly because of George Gascon.
Yeah. Yes.
Because L.A. County is right next to Ventura County, and L.A. County is this explosive, crazy-ass George Gascon pro-criminal defendant county now. Well, right next door, you have a traditional prosecutor who actually wants to put criminals in jail, in prison. All right, let's do it, guys. You ready?
Let's do it.
Handle on the news. Jennifer, Wayne, me, lead story. Another weekend, guys. Tennessee, 3 dead, 17 injured in a shooting. Another weekend, guys. Philadelphia, 3 dead, 11 wounded in a shooting. Amidst talks of some kind of gun control in the Senate. And if any movement is going to be made, it's going to be incremental. It's not going to be much.
We don't have time to do this every Monday, to go through every
That's
one.
true. We don't.
But those are just two of many.
Right? Those are the bigger ones.
At a strip mall, there was a shooting, and a 14-year-old girl was killed.
Yeah.
And I think 8 people were injured there. And we could spend the entire first segment just doing
a recap of the shootings.
Which we're going to do. Well, we don't have time. You're right. It's
Well, to sum it up, there were a dozen people killed this weekend.
Wow.
A dozen, and that, I think there were 3 dozen or something like that injured. I mean, the number is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is, but it doesn't matter. Second Amendment people, this is all about, people just prove that people should be armed. That's all. I mean, that's the answer. I've got a lot to say, obviously, but we'll be doing this throughout the next 10 years, next 20 years, next 100 years.
All right, so poor police radio reception is now one of the reasons why they say it caused confusion for cops in the Texas school shooting response. They say that the police officers waited for more than an hour inside. Remember, that was the thing that we've all been debating. Why didn't they go in? Why didn't they go in? Well, they apparently only received sporadic and unreliable radio communication. And they say it was the lack of direct and clear communication that complicated the response to the May 24th shooting.
But it doesn't matter. I'll tell you where there was no confusion is police officers hearing shots inside of a classroom and not breaching the room.
And
Now,
for 40 minutes, they had complicated and unclear communication. They couldn't have sent Officer Bob, one of the 19 officers outside, and he could have gone, "Hey, Sarge, what is the order here exactly?"
I would like to know the timeline between the first shots that were heard by police inside that hallway to the last shot that was heard before the police.
You should have it written down.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they talk about it.
yeah,
That they
it's
were standing
extraordinary.
inside
The
and
length
heard
of
it.
time is just crazy. All right, we'll come back. We've got plenty to cover, obviously. Let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The Biden administration reportedly is barring the leaders of Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela from the Summit of the Americas.